In the last video, we have talked about Bootstrap row, and in this section, I'm going to talk about Bootstrap column. Bootstrap column are foundation of any Bootstrap layout and in the most important building block of our Bootstrap layout. Bootstrap column divide are designed to a vertical groups, so you don't need to create or define your own CSS grid or CSS classes. Bootstrap has already provided that, and one of the important thing about the Bootstrap column is whenever you create a Bootstrap column, it's take 30 pixel wide gutter on your screen size. So that means whenever you create a column in a Bootstrap, it will take 15 pixel left and 15 pixel right gutter there. And how to use Bootstrap column in your project is this rule. By default, this is COL, that means column dash size. That means for a different screen size or a different breakpoints, you can define your own class there, that two-word class. So I'll show you that is this is our two-lettered class. You can see here. So how it works actually, so whenever you go in a column and in the size section, if you are targeting a particular screen size, let's suppose you are targeting extra small screen size or mobile size, you can define it like XS, that means extra small. For small screen size is SM, for medium size it's MD, and for large it's LG. And in the span here you can define how many column you want to include on that particular size or that particular screen size. So that means it will according to your screen need, and by default your screen is 12 column grid layout. You can define accordingly that, and if you exceed 12 column grid layout, it will automatically come in next row or a next line. So I'll show you in my code that how actually we can start working with this. This is my default page what I've created, and inside row I have included div and I haven't defined any class there, and inside that there is heading and p tag. So let's suppose I'm creating a column, I'll define a class call. In the span section, my screen size is basically a large screen size, so I'll target for large. I will define LG, and what I want my text to come in entire screen, so that I'll define it's 12 because our grid system is 12 column grid layout. So you can see that there is how your code look like, but if I want that it should come on half of my page, I'll make it 6, call LJ6. That means my 12 column grid layout divided into a 6 column grid layout. So I have just put it 6 column grid layout. 6 column is not defined yet. I can define that one also by copying this entire code and pasting down there. So that means 6 and 6 is equal to 12, and it will come up like this. So if you define your third column there like this, it will come in the next row. So what I've told you that 6 plus 6 is equal to 12, and after that if you add another 6, it will exceed the 12 column grid layout limit, and it will come in the next line as you can see there. And if I'll put that, it's total 24, it will divide 12 grid layout there. So this is for my large screen size, and if I want that it should come in like in a one row. What I want that all these columns should come in one row. So what I can do that I can divide 12 by 4 is equal to 3. So 3 into 4 is equal to 12, and how it's my grid layout look alike. So you can play with your columns classes for a different screen size. So I've defined for a large column, you can define for small also. Let's suppose that what I want that if I go in a small medium section, it will take 12 column grid layout by default, but I can define it accordingly myself. So I'll put call MD6. So that means what I want, there should be 2 columns should come in 6 into 6 for a medium, and when it's go beyond the medium or less than medium, it will again take your 12 column grid layout, because we haven't defined anything for small screen size, and you can also define for small screen size according to yourself. So this is how your Bootstrap column work, and in the next video I'll tell you the more example of our Bootstrap column grid and how it's actually work on a live example. I'll show that. Thank you so much.